Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of Render, ONDO, SUI and HBAR. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. And if you also want to trade with cheap taker fees, then I can recommend you the crypto exchange mexc, which has a similar trading volume to Bitget, OKX and Bybit, but I already highlighted you it here. The taker fees are far much lower than on the other top crypto exchanges, and on top of that you can get an additional 20% discount on those low taker fees if you use my referral link, which you can find in the video description. 100 pers, 0 fees just on mexc, and here you can trade some popular altcoins without any fees on mexc. So let's get to Render. We have said about Render, this is an head and shoulders formatation. If it breaks to the downside, $4.51 was the price mark, then we can drop down to $4.42. We didn't break it to the downside. Instead, I have also showed you a falling wedge, and with that push to the upside, where we broke out, the target of that falling wedge was the $4.74, where we got. So I can also take this one out of the chart. I have also warned you yesterday about the price development of Render, the possible one. I've told you that we can even get up a bit more into the center line, for example this one here, then we would still have a double top pattern. Okay, we broke that double top pattern to the upside. That was the scenario which I've also told you we can even get far more higher. What now is left shoulder, possible head, right shoulder, maybe incoming. And then we have another bearish pattern and head and shoulders formatation, which can break to the downside. So just because Bitcoin did a new all-time high, that doesn't mean that the altcoins are going to push to the upside. I've also said it in the Bitcoin update. I don't think that an altcoin season is near to us. I think an altcoin push can happen with a high chance, but not the real altcoin season where everyone thinks, okay, that meme coin is going to make a 1000x profit. I doubt it. I doubt it. I think we have some potential to the upside, but we are talking about 20%, 50%, 100%, maybe even 200% are possible in this, I would even say, whole bull run, whole bull market. And that's probably it with the altcoin season. That was then the altcoin season. But I still think we can expect a push to the upside. So, what do I see now? Let me take out my drawing here. I can replicate it soon. So, two important price marks. I don't want to count this here as a rising wedge. We can still do, because we have 3 touch points on the lower trend line and we have 2 touch points on the upper trend line. If we do, I don't want to take this here as the spread, but if we take it here, put it then to the breakout point, target $4.30. I will still keep it on the chart. I will even make it in a different color. Let me do orange. So I think that we have support at $4.61. You can already see it. We got some price movement to the upside in the short term. If we go into the 50 minutes chart, then you can see it. We dropped here. We got a push to the upside. But if we get, I would say, a 1 hour candle close lower than the cross here at $4.61, means we break both trend lines to the downside. Yeah, it can happen here at exactly $4.61, but we can also break the first trend line to the downside now and the second one an hour later. But if that happens, if both trend lines breaks to the downside, then I think next target $4.52. If the $4.52 breaks to the downside, then we have here a fair value gap And the next support is in this area here, between $2.27 and the low here, $4.30. $4.30 and $4.27. So this circle is also going to get interesting. I don't see any early breakouts anymore. So with that price movement to the downside, I can't find anything. If we would have got corrective to the downside, then I could have said, okay, we have here a trend line. If we break it to the upside, then the chances are high that we are going to meet the $4.96. That's not the case anymore. We can't see anything. If I want to trade support, then I can jump into a long trade, put a stop loss lower than that or lower than here, depending on how much you want to risk. But yeah, it is kind of difficult to trade render at the moment. We have to see what render is going to do. I closed my trades for all the altcoins. Yeah, my altcoins went 50% into profits. Then I took out another 50%, means I took out in total 75% out of the trades, because Bitcoin was at all-time high areas, and in all-time high areas I'm extra careful and de-risk. And the other 25%, which I still kept in the trade, went into the stop loss with this push to the downside, because this push to the downside we see with every coin. So what about ONDO? I think we have predicted ONDO pretty well. So our falling wedge broke to the downside, to the upside. So this is our falling wedge in bright blue. We broke it to the upside. I have also said 96 cents have to break to the upside, which didn't yet. Here we got the retest, long into 96 cents, 50% out of the trade, and 99.5%. That price mark had to break to the upside. If it would have broke to the upside, then I could have, because I have taken profits here before and I have taken profits here, I could have reinvested the money which I took out of the trade here again at the retest and put my stop loss lower than this and just try the push to the upside. But it didn't happen. So basically, did I do the right thing? Maybe yes, maybe no, we don't know. Maybe we push now to the upside. Maybe this was the push and we are going to get a huge pullback to the downside. Everything is possible at the moment. So we have set here for ONDO head and shoulders formatation on the 50 minutes chart, broke to the upside, so I can take this one out. It didn't get activated. Now I would look for the 93.2 cents. If they break to the downside, then we can meet the area 91.5 cents, which are those lows here. Afterwards, 89 cents. If we also break it to the downside, then the target 85.8 cents to 86.6 cents is going to get interesting, where we have a fair value gap for ONDO. So what about SUI? SUI was kinda choppy. I have tracked an early entry for SUI by having this white trend line. Broke to the upside, got its retest. We didn't break the $3.96 to the upside yet, but all the altcoins gave me a good signal. It was long for me here into $4.11. I took profits a bit earlier, but we didn't hit the $4.11, so some kind of there was still a take profit area for me, a take profit. Didn't got hit, so SUI wasn't that profitable for me. I think that the $3.83 have to hold. If they break to the downside, and you can see it, we have here many touch points on that trend line. If we break it to the downside, then $3.64 is the next support. If we also lose it, $3.50 for SUI. As long as we hold it, we can still expect the push into $4.11. And if we break the $4.11 to the upside, then $4.30 to $4.38 is the target. And that's also realistic. But we have to get some positive momentum, at least again, over the $3.95.5. So what about HBAR? It was positive that we broke the 19.5 cents to the upside again, because this here was resistance. This here was our resistance. I will put you here an arrow. Broke to the upside, retest, target 20.1 cents. We hit it. Perfect. Now we sold off and lost the 19.5 cents. I can make this trend line longer. It also looks like that we are going to lose the next one. Well, like this. So if we lose that trend line, which is currently the 19.27 cents, I will put here also the price mark. Then we can drop into this circle area here, where we have a bit support between 18.96 cents to 19.04 cents. So I will put you here some price marks. Afterwards, I would say the rising wedge in bright blue broke to the downside. Target of that rising wedge is the fair value gap at round about 18.2 cents, and 18 cents is still our target. 18 cents was our target before, as long as we don't break the 20.1 cents to the upside. And we didn't break it to the upside. So the target is ongoing, and if we lose support after support, 18 cents is the last support where I would say this is our best one. If we lose it, then we can think about far lower prices for HBAR. I would say again, if we break the 19.55 cents to the upside again, it would be positive, but it won't be enough, because this is here just a huge fair value gap. Means if we get support, for example, here, or a step lower here, and we push to the upside, then it's just to fill the fair value gap and afterwards sell off into the next fair value gap, which is down here. So if that is too much for you, then I wouldn't trade. You don't have to be in trades. It's better to be plus minus zero, because you are not in trade, so you are not losing and you are not winning. But I tell you, losing hurts, first of all. Second of all, in those kind of mark stages, you don't know, is this just the dip which I have to buy? Because since years everyone is saying buy the dip, buy the dip. Is this the last dip which you can buy, and you get FOMO because you think maybe the coin is never reaching that low again because I didn't buy the dips before? But I think we will get good chances to trade soon. We already got them yesterday, but since Bitcoin did a all-time high and sold off a lot, yeah, it kinda ruined the slow and steady stage, the slow and steady push. The slow and steady push would be far more better, would be far easier to trade. We don't have to be fast, we don't have to trade with emotions, because it's also the same for me. If we get a fast push to the upside with a fast retest, which happens on very, very small time frames, for example, the 50 minutes chart, 10 minutes chart, or 5 minutes chart, then I'm not sure, is this the retest, or are we going to sell off? And on the 1 hour chart, 4 hour chart, we can be far more safer and we can relax a bit more. So thank you for watching, and I hope that I gave you some valuable information. We see each other tomorrow with hopefully higher prices.